We know that effective environmental management and regulation can be beneficial to overall competitiveness and economic development by creating pressures and alerting businesses about resource inefficiencies, which point to new opportunities and ultimately drive innovation. Good environmental regulation will help reduce costs for industry and business, create markets for environmental goods and services, drive innovation, create and sustain jobs, improve health of people in the workplace, and protect the natural resources on which businesses and humans depend.
The title of this session, which is Blessed Unrest, it's not about social unrest, it's about blessed unrest. And the implication of that was, originally in the book that was titled that, is that all of a sudden in the last decade or so, there's been an efflorescence of concern about average citizens, by groups, by organizations all over the world, that the way the world is going is not too great and we have to do something about it. Blessed unrest comes from this feeling of discomfort that the directions that we've taken and that we're taking are not adequate and that we have to find new ways to do it. That's the blessed part of the unrest. Then ultimately it's a systemic issue. If we really want to solve the problems of climate change and biodiversity and ocean acidification and all the other big issues that go through not only poverty, but the financial crises that this world global economy has been going through, then we have to recognize they're actually very closely related. The root causes for most of them are almost the same. One of those root causes is the whole concept of competitiveness. Now, I realize that you've been making annual meetings on how to achieve global competitiveness, but frankly, I think there is embedded in that concept its own seeds of destruction. Competitiveness in a finite planet with finite resources has to be seen as a way, actually, of also cooperating. It cannot be seen as the only way to go forward is to get ahead of the next person. Competitiveness inherently implies a source that is close to what one might call greed. The future of the planet, and particularly the future of the children of the people in this room, is going to really depend on our meeting their needs. And if any of us care about the kind of lives that they're going to have, then I think we have to bring competitiveness into line with a degree of cooperation that I don't think we've been given much thought to.
So a city, just think about it, a city or a country that does not maintain or invest in its infrastructure like roads and railroads will suffer economically very quickly. Our natural infrastructure will also break down without protection and investment. A road, I think, can be repaired with investment, but once a species in this web of life is gone, there is no way of bringing it back. So we have to get this message across clearly.
For us working across the poorest 64 countries of the world, what farmers say to us all the time is a common phrase. They say, the seasons have changed. People know that something has happened. They often have no idea what it's all about, but they know that climate change is going on. Climate change is not something for the future for the poorest people. They're being hit now and hit very hard.
And what we have to do is to begin to revalue, to be innovative and revalue our environment around us. The reason that the environment is disappearing is that we have given it zero value. There's a quote by Sheikh Yamani who said, "The Stone Age did not end because we ran out of stones, and the age of oil will not end because we run out of oil." But in that is an implied threat. And this I've seen in sort of the Saudi Arabian position. In Copenhagen, Saudi Arabia was one of the countries that, out of all fairness, was slowing things down. Instead of being afraid, what we need to do is innovate. And what we need to do is to create a new age, an age of an environment where we value these things rather than only taking them because they have no value.